mean, we're surrounded by treasures here. This is where it all starts. This is Lucie Rie, 1936. These come with her when she flees the Nazis in 1938, and it weighs absolutely nothing. It's extraordinary. So a beginning, and then actually this amazing bowl here with these pink sgraffito inlaid lines here. There's a wonderful documentary by David Attenborough where he follows her around, and this is the bowl that he gets out of the kiln. Here we have the most spectacular copper, and it's a bird, you know, sort of abstracted. They are incendiary artists. They make things new. I'm looking at here from the 1930s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, even to the 80s. And I'm alive again to the possibilities that can happen with clay. It's a pretty wonderful moment for me. You know, I make pots. Here I am with the two greatest potters of the last 100 years. Oh my goodness, this is the pot. 30 years ago there was a set of postage stamps, and Lucie was represented by this pot. I've actually never seen this in real life. You have to imagine Lucie Rie in the war, this Viennese potter living in London. She makes her living by making buttons. And what you see here is just how much skill she has as a glazer. She could match objects to clothes. And into this workshop, just up the road here in London, this small workshop, she draws in émigré, refugee people of all kinds, and Hans Koper joins the studio, never having touched clay. And she trains him. She shows him how to use clay. And rapidly, incredibly rapidly, this young German boy, really, becomes so dexterous and so adept that he begins to make his own work. And the studios move apart, but they work aware of each other. Their friendship is extraordinarily powerful throughout their lives. It's really the closest friendship in their lives. They share so much. And so people talk about Rie-Koper, Koper-Rie as this sort of nugget. And it's kind of useful to think about that. And in fact, we're surrounded by pots where, you know, I can hear them talking behind me. I can hear their conversation. But of course, what they do is different. Lucie Rie looks to Roman forms. I mean, this in some ways is a work that looks back to sort of classical ceramics. And Koper is obsessed with Cycladic art, forms which have this attenuated sculptural life. Things are stripped back. These are spade forms. Actually, do you know what? That really is incredibly beautiful. They feel very kind of close to human bodies in some ways, which of course is what he ends up with these very, very late works. These are sort of meditations on the human form, taken back and back and back and back. So they both look to the essential in art, not necessarily the decorative, but what's left. The most moving thing about being here in this collection of pots, of course, is where they were, who they belonged to, because these are the pots that Lucie Rie gave to Hans Koper and to his widow Jane Koper. And then there are the pots of Cyril Frankel, who I knew very well, who was an extraordinary figure in the world of ceramics, a great protector of Lucie Rie for a substantial part of her life. He was a gatekeeper in some ways to her and made sure that she was looked after and that her pots went to the right museums and the right collections. And he was a dealer in ceramics. So these are Cyril's favourite pots as well, both of Hans and of Lucie. This is the sort of irreducible collection of pots. These are the pots that they lived with. They knew each other, they cared about each other, and these are the pots they chose to keep and have near, and that matters.